So there you go. That is that's Ottoman Sunset. So let's see. My thoughts on this are, I think I like Habsburg Eclipse a little bit better because there are more things to juggle in that game. And even though the pressure is instantaneous, it feels like in both of the games, I feel like there's a little bit more to juggle in that one. But if you're looking for something a little bit more simplified and something that you can take with you on the road, like if you're going on a business trip, you're going to be in a hotel room, or to play on the small little hotel tables or a desk there, this is actually really good for that. And speaking of which, let me show you guys this. So in the version that I have, it's actually puzzle pieces, as you can see here. So all of this comes apart there and actually goes into the box, right? There you go, okay? Or you have the little paper map as well, if you don't want to mess with the puzzle board. So there you go. They're identical to the best of my knowledge. And you'll also notice that the Baghdad Railway up here, this actually would hook up to the Habsburg Eclipse board. This is half the box, the other is on that one. And the other thing that I wanted to show you guys is just how small this is, the actual box. You see the slip cover behind me there, but the box is actually really, really small. Yeah, so there's that. I keep saying Habsburg Eclipse. I mean Cruel Necessity. I apologize, guys. It hooks up with the Habsburg Eclipse, but Cruel Necessity is the game that I was talking about earlier. That I taught when I referenced that which one I like better. I like the different tracks that are in there. It's not just beating back the armies, but it's the political and religious tracks that you have to manage as well. I like the added choice and the added layer of decisions that are in that game. But I enjoyed this. I rolled like crap. It happens. And I actually got pretty lucky, the fact that the Germans came out, the U-boats, and I didn't have to really mess with the Narrows. So keep in mind, I didn't spend a single action down putting any reinforcements down in the Narrows, betting on the 50% chance that my card comes out before the British tried to run it. And I still failed pretty badly. So there's that. But had I played with the variant of using Mustafa Kemal, then that would have definitely made it a lot easier to hold back the Gallipoli forces a little bit better. I like that you can play it one of two ways. You can either just shuffle up the cards like how I did, or you can play historically and play them one through, in order. I like that as an option. Obviously, if you played it a lot, you would know what was coming and how to prepare for that, whereas here you cannot. I haven't played Dawn of the Zeds, Bernardo. I need to get a copy of it, and if I do, then that's one that I would like to see. It's fighting back zombies, so there's that. Wolf says proper war games have paper maps. I know, but I thought it would show better for the stream. Tails says totally not my kind of game. It's definitely a dice fest. I mean, you got to get lucky, and or at least not unlucky to do well. But historically, the Ottomans did lose, right? They were on the Central Power side. So things are stacked against you anyway. All right, Wolf says Zeds has many more decisions, more bits, and Zulus on the Ramparts is my favorite. That's another that I actually need to get a copy of, and you guys will see them. I mean, the old school Victory Point games, back before they were taken over, emerged, whatever the right words are. Yeah, there's a lot of good games in this series that I've heard good things about, and I want to get copies of. I just haven't yet. And exactly, Michael says the flavor text is great in these. It gives context, right? Like Verdun, 1 million shells, 1 million. Yeah, just oof. Okay, cool. And Scott says I'd never seen the size of the box before, so that was shocking. Yeah, I don't know. Now, Cruel Necessity, is a larger box. So getting back to this, so Cruel Necessity is about twice. It's still, you know, not really thick, but about yay tall. You know, it's about twice as normal size, whatever. But this is a little one, real tiny little box here. So really nice for travel. And honestly, I'll show you guys this. So if you wanted the paper map, get all of those out of there. And I'm going to get all the chits in here so you guys can see. There's the map, the rule book, okay, and all the cards. You can easily put that into a gallon-sized freezer bag, and that takes up no space in whatever you're traveling in. So this is an easy game to take on the road with you. Oh, and the die. There you go. There you go. So, all right. Let's see. Daniel, plans for a playthrough of Hannibal, Rome versus Carthage. Absolutely. Once I'm back from Origins next week, I don't have a whole lot of travel between now and the fall. Gen Con's a big maybe. We'll see. I have one trip going to Grand Rapids, Michigan for Grand Con, and then Essen, obviously, is the big one. Be going a couple weeks for that one. But outside of that, yeah, it's going to be a whole lot of live streams. The podcast content's going to be coming back, and the whole 9 yards. So yeah, Hannibal is definitely on the short list of games in which to stream. Chip says, hadn't seen this before. I like the look of it and the historical info. Thanks for streaming it. So, Bernardo, kudos again. Thanks for a good playthrough. I enjoy the solo games you publish. Glad to be a patron. CMBGG. All right, I appreciate it. So there you go. That is Ottoman Sunset. I enjoyed it. It's a fun little dice chucker. But to me, and I've said this in numerous times before, that if you're interested in history, I think war games are exceedingly good at both interesting or getting you interested in a time period that you may or may not be familiar with, and may or may not have a inclination towards already, and vice versa. If you're interested in history, learning about the history and then coming to the war games to be able to see the decisions that some of the people had to make in being somewhat abstracted, or grossly abstracted, I realize, but seeing the decision space in which they had to operate makes for really bringing history home, and that's why I really enjoy these historical war games. For instance, I mentioned Dan Carlin's Hardcore History, his series on World War I. I had zero interest in World War I, and then I listened to that, and then I was excited to dig into games like Paths of Glory, stuff like this, etc. And then another one, Mike Duncan's Revolutions. He did one on the English Civil Wars. I had zero interest in that, and then listening to that got me interested in trying games like Unhappy King Charles, which was really, and now all the counters and all the leaders in this game, now it gives me context in which I'm playing the game, and vice versa. If I'm interested in a game, I play the game and then can try and read a book or whatever on the history. So even if you're not interested in the dice chucking or the war game aspect of it, if you're interested in history, I think there's a lot here to get interested in, and it helps feed your appetite for knowledge in both directions, from the historical standpoint into gaming and gaming into the historical standpoint. And I can't say enough about what these war games do. I really, really thoroughly enjoy them, if for nothing else for that aspect, but I also really enjoy them as well. Nemo's War will be coming as well. Yeah, there you go. Cool. All right. So there you go. That is Ottoman Sunset. Thanks everybody for joining me. If you guys liked it, like and subscribe down below. Support the show over on pledgehc.com. We're trying to upgrade our camera to a 4K PTZ camera, get to 800 patrons. We're going to be doing that. Plus you get a whole bunch of perks. Slack channel, you get swag, you get merch, you get all kinds of bonus content that isn't open for the rest of the public. So there's that. So if you want to support the show, check it out over on pledgehc.com. With that, I'm out. I leave tomorrow morning for Origins, fly back Sunday morning. So I will be back in time for the weekly look ahead at 2 p.m. on Sunday. Then after that, we're going to get back to publishing the podcast, as I mentioned. And it's balls to the wall from that point forward. So thanks, everybody. I enjoyed it. Hopefully you all did. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, and I'll see you guys after Origins. Take care, everybody.